Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Vershawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
At Allo, we go beyond internet, bringing you faster speeds backed by an all-fiber network. We go beyond TV and phone service, delivering reliable, crystal clear connections. We go beyond customer service with local teammates and no robots for a hassle-free experience. We go beyond value, offering transparent prices with no contracts, hidden fees, or data caps. We even go beyond our office doors by working, hiring, volunteering, and living in the communities we serve. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at allofiber.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and so much more when you join today. You heard that right. Conquer the stair climber with your partner in climb. Enjoy a post-workout recovery session in the hydro massage and do it all again with access to any of our 2,700 convenient locations. So, you coming? Get all the perks with the PF Black Card for $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry! You won't want to miss this exclusive offer. Deal ends June 13th.
See Club for details.
Hey, it's Adam Carricker. Join me this Wednesday, June 11th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Adam Carricker Show live at Suizo Construction to celebrate their ribbon cutting and open house and celebrating 40 years of excellence with a remodeled facility. That's Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Suizo Construction, 3700 South 6th Street.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Be at the 32nd Annual Testicle Festival for live music and, of course, balls. It's at Round the Bend Steakhouse in Ashland, June 14th from 11 to 10. Take I-80 exit 426, roundthebendsteakhouse.com.
Welcome to The Drive with A.D. Raff and Ahman Gray. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska East Sports coach Ahman Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, welcome to this tremendous Tuesday morning. It is a gorgeous day here in the capital city, 1040 O Street. It is absolutely fantastic. It is 64 degrees right now. I said degrees. 64 degrees. 64 degrees, 66 with a high of 88. And it is gorgeous, and I'm feeling great. Rafferty, how's it going in Huntsville? Is it raining, or is everything good?
It's good right now. It rained last night. It rained most of the day yesterday, but we're good. 73 degrees.
Nice. I love it. I love it. No crazy weather, right?
Got a little bit wild last night for about 30 minutes, but then it cleared up. So, yeah, it's not too bad here.
Nice. Swim?
Hello. What's the deal?
One Lane, how you doing, big dog?
I'm doing great. It's been a great 24 hours. I lost my wallet. It's been a great 24 hours.
I was not going to bring it up.
That's okay. Everybody's been bringing it up. People were commenting on my social media posts.
Did you post it? Or someone?
I didn't post about it.
So
just
the cat got out of the bag.
People that were aware of the situation. Yes, I lost my wallet
Have
yesterday.
you called out there this morning?
I have not. But
because I was thinking.
Here's the deal. My ID's in there. So, I mean, they know, you know.
Someone's going to find, like, wait a minute.
We'll find it.
This is One Lane.
There's also about 15 business cards in there that have my phone number, my email, and my socials on it. There, I mean, there's ways to get a hold of me.
At the break, what I would do, I would call out to Wilderness Ridge because their morning crew is out there. Scott Ashton, those guys, they know.
Probably got caught up in the mower.
It may have, but at least you know where it's at.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? If it got gobbled up, you know where it's at. But I would definitely call out there on the break, man. I would call on the break.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Swim, you guys finished what in your? First of all, big shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to Ahman Green, all the folks that helped him out at the Ahman Green Foundation, a golf outing for esports. Shout out to Jay Foreman, Pete Waters, and Bill Mitchner at the Lighthouse. I played in that one. We're at Hillcrest. A shout out to their entire team, Sonia and company, Mike Brown, as well as to all the great Mike Schuhart. And all the great guys as well over at Wilderness Ridge. We have been very fortunate here in Lincoln and surrounding areas with some great people that run those courses, man. Because that's not true. I've bought buddies in from other places. Like, man, you guys got some cool peeps at your golf courses. Because that's not
100%.
It's not always true other places. So, but Nick, how'd you guys finish out, man?
We ended up finishing third. So
Nice.
we got third place in the first flight.
Mm-hmm.
I think our final score, I think we were like 10 under or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we did not play well. We got lucky with a couple of eagles.
Mm-hmm.
But we finished third place in the first flight. It was a really good time.
What'd you think of the course overall, though, besides the other stuff?
It was good. I mean, I enjoyed it.
You remember you were playing it, Nick?
I really loved Hidden Valley. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it was great.
Like Grandpa's backwoods. Really nice course.
Yeah, man. I've never walked Pine Lake before. But no, it was a really good time. We had a great time. It was a great group. And so shout out to everybody that was in our group. Jake, obviously Jake and myself. We tried to represent the ticket as best we could on and off the golf course. Jake and I had a good time. Shout out to Nathan, the owner of Tipsy Tina's and McKinney's, for playing on our team as well. Nice. And so shout out to him. But then also we had our friends from League One Volleyball Omaha play with us. So Jordan Larson was played with us, and then Houston Koronowski played with us as well. So it was a really, really good time at Wilderness Ridge.
Who was the stick on your team?
It depended on the hole.
Yeah,
there was no consistency.
Yeah,
it was really, really unfortunate.
Dude, scrambles are like that sometimes. So sometimes you get hot and you get on a heater, and the other time it's just like
par birdie, par birdie, maybe sneak eagle in or something like that. But a great cause.
How about this one? Scooter from Roca says, as of 9 a.m. this morning, I have found 15 golf balls in the rough at Wilderness Ridge. Thank you to the ticket. I'm still on the front 9.
See if you find
Yeah,
this wallet.
yeah, Scooter. If you find my wallet, let me know.
Do you know what hole you had it on last?
I had it on hole 8 last.
And you guys started on what hole?
12. So we played.
Okay.
It was 8. It was right at the tee box. I had it out. And the thing here's the thing. It wasn't irresponsibility. Like what happened genuinely was I took it out to buy a couple of drinks and I put it in my back pocket. I always put it in my golf bag.
Yeah,
I don't know why yesterday I was like, oh, I'll be fine in my back pocket. So I put it in my back pocket and it must have slipped out when I sat down on the golf cart. We must have hit a bump. I mean, you guys know how it is at times. You hit a bump on a golf cart and you go flying 5 feet up in the air. And so it's just a funky occurrence that unfortunately resulted in it slipping out of my back pocket. But there's not a whole lot of money in there. So whoever finds it, I mean, the most valuable piece is probably going to be my driver's license.
Yeah.
So
that's the part that sucks the most.
Yeah.
Because you can cancel the card.
Yeah. So now I'm going through all the jump or the hula hoops of trying to figure out how to get all of my stuff back. So and remembering all the subscriptions that I had tied to my card too. That's the part that's most frustrating. Is like, okay, I got Amazon, I got Major League Baseball TV, I got Costco, I got you got to go through all of it.
Stuff.
Yeah,
replacement.
Don't you carry 1,000 in cash in your wallet also?
I certainly do not.
What's up, DF? DF says his wallet is probably in his golf bag. Have you scoured your golf bag pretty good?
I have. Not this morning, but I scoured it yesterday after the round, and there's not a whole lot of places it could be. If it ended up being in my golf bag, it'd be pretty special.
That would. Cupsker says, Nick, carry the golf team, it sounds like. Also, Nick, I apologize for giving you crap last week about shanking the ball right. Sounds like you played well.
I did not play well. I thought I was going to play well, guys. We started out on a par 3. Mm-hmm. We stuck it to about, I don't know, it was like 9 feet, 10 feet. And I was the first one in our group to putt. And I just stepped up and I canned the birdie. And I was like, this is going to be a great day. This is going to be an incredible day. The flat stick is hot. All right, here we go. And then the rest of the day happened. So,
well, I tell you somebody's flat stick that was hot yesterday was when we played. It was me, Jay, of course, me, Foreman. Big shout out to Jay Foreman too for putting the team together for us. We had that blocked off for months in advance. I always like to do that every year that I'm in town for the Lighthouse.
Yeah,
a number of former Huskers there, most notably Eric Warfield was in the house yesterday too at Hillcrest.
Nice.
Jay, of course, a number of others. JP. But Troy Bothy's putter was on fire.
Really?
He had 4 birdie putts.
Jeez, yeah.
We still were only -8, but Jay had some issues with his foot. Obviously had the surgery, so he had to tap out. But he gutted it out. I applaud little bro because he's like, hey, fellas. I mean, he had a shot yesterday morning.
Yeah.
In his foot, and for him to do what he did to come out and still support was awfully cool. We had a good time. David Freeoff had some great shots. Him and Troy on 18. I'm sorry, on hole 9. No, it's actually 10. I'm going to this place. Bombed their second shots on that par 5.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had birdie in that one. We missed the eagle barely, but it was just a good time, man. It was a great time yesterday. The weather couldn't have been any better as far as that goes yesterday. So a shout out to all the folks, both at Hillcrest and at Wilderness Ridge, both great causes. Again, the Ahman Green Foundation to go into esports. Had a great chance to interview some great people. What's up, DF? Just rolled by. Angie Henry, former Nebraska track, outstanding track athlete. We interviewed her. Obviously, Jordan Larson, Kroy Gondowski.
Yeah,
Gondowski of Love Volleyball came in the house. Touchdown Tony Davis, who was inducted into the Sun Bowl Hall of Fame. He stopped by and talked with us for a little bit. So we had some, of course, Ahman, Frankie London was there back in town. Tony Ortiz, Euler. In fact, keep your prayers for Euler. Euler had a procedure done. He's doing well.
Good.
Our very own Euler. But just a great event. But you guys, Raff, Nick, speaking of golf, Oakmont is going to have some serious problems on their hands if that rough stays. Raff, have you had a chance to see the rough at Oakmont, Raff?
Oh, he froze. All right, we're taking Raff off. There he goes.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Have you had a chance to see the rough at Oakmont where they're playing this weekend?
Oh, the lawnmowers. I love that. The picture where they were like next to the sand trap and the guy was like holding the top of the lawnmower trying to keep it just to mow it off a little bit. It's going to be rough.
See, okay, I'm gonna ask both of you this, man. Since we're on the topic of golf, and obviously we're in our open hour, first of all, we got a full schedule and agenda for you this afternoon, for this morning. But Nick and Raff, you guys, is it taken away from the integrity of the game, making it that hard? I mean, these are the best in the world. I understand difficult, but when you drop your ball in the first cut and it disappears, you guys, I mean, Raff, come on, man. Are they trying to prove a point, and are they going overboard is what I'm asking you.
I think they really went overboard, and now they mowed it a little bit. Now it's just going to be halfway overboard. I guess if you enjoy seeing pros really struggle, I guess this is the tournament for you.
But you know what, Nick? Okay, and Raff, you bring up a point. If you pros struggle.
Yeah.
Okay, so in basketball, because, obviously Scheffler is eating up courses. They extended it for Tiger Woods. Extending it still makes it playable, though. You know what I'm saying? To where it's fair for everyone that's still there. And I'm not saying the rough doesn't, because everybody's going to take out of it.
Yeah.
But when does it come to the point where you start flirting on the cusp of ridiculousness, if you would?
Well, I think. So here's the thing: we can't act like this is the conditions every single week, though.
No,
either.
it's not.
So that's where I think I actually don't have an issue with it, because I think it provides a unique challenge to the players. Now, granted, I'm glad that I don't have to play in it, but once again, we just said it right there, the best of the best. And so, like, if I'm Scotty Scheffler this week,
keep it in the fairway.
Number one, it's like I'm keeping it in the fairway, but number two is I want to show that, okay, yeah, there's so much conversation about the rough, it doesn't affect me.
I'm just gonna play my game.
Let me go out there and shoot 8 under and win this thing by a landslide. Like, I think it's going to be. We've gotten so accustomed at times to these final rounds and guys' final scores being 10 under, 12 under, 13 under. I'm actually really excited to see a tournament this weekend that, in this day and age of long hitters, the ability, like they're incredible, like the power and strength that are behind these guys. And also, not to mention, in a day where now everything in golf is turning to, like I said, the clubs hit the ball farther, the balls go farther. There's more technology advancements that are in the game of golf. This weekend, it's going to be about precision.
Yes,
and it usually is, but it gets kicked up a notch to where it's how smart do you want to play? There's not a whole lot. I mean,
the margin of error is small.
The margin of error is already slim in an individual sport, but this week it's going to be even smaller and even more narrow, because if you go out of the fairway, then you're setting yourself up for, let me just save par. Let me just save par. Let me try to get to the green in 2, and we'll try to 2-putt for par. Like, that's where you're at. But then also, I think we're going to see some guys on Saturday and even maybe on Sunday that are just a few shots out of the lead. And if they find the fairways consistently, they're going to try to really attack some pins.
Yeah.
And things can get really interesting there. So I think it just provides a unique. Do I want this type of condition and these types of storylines every single week? Absolutely not. But I think for 1 week, it's really, really fascinating. I'm really excited to see what the final scores are. Right? Are we looking at a tournament that could be won by somebody that shoots 2 under? How about even? What about even 1 over? I mean, like, what are the chances here on this day and age where guys are driving greens on 200 on 310-yard par 4s? Like, in this day and age, I think it's going to be played quite a bit differently this weekend.
It's going to be entertaining to watch for sure. And Nick, I think he said something. You said something about precision. Raff, when you think about precision, obviously the first guy that comes to mind is Scotty Scheffler. Scotty, I mean, for obvious reasons, in the month of May, we've talked about this. He won $10 million in May alone. I think one of his lowest was 3rd or 4th place, but he was just winning like crazy. And it's with the precision part of it, Raff, with those guys who are in the field, if it's not Scotty, do you think Bryson, as far as he hits it, do you think this course penalizes him because he hits it so far, and you think about roll, bounce, etc.?
Yeah, I think he's going to have his troubles, I think, with the way he's going to have to tone it down a little bit. I don't know if that's in his vocabulary, but it's definitely going to be. I'm also, curious to see after the first day, what the score is. I don't know what it is. I always look at the top of the leaderboard, and then I always go to the bottom just to see, just how gruesome it gets for some of those players out there.
There are some guys. What you were going to say, Nick?
Yeah, I was thinking. I mean, there's your prototypical big hitters on the tour or that are going to be playing this weekend. Like, I look at guys like Rory, or I look at somebody like Rory even more than Scotty, just because one of his best clubs is the driver. And when he is on his best, like he's been this year, whether it was at Augusta, whether it was, before Augusta, I think ultimately you look at Rory as that a guy, like if his driver is on, he is one of the best players in the world. However, if he's missing fairways consistently, like he was a couple of weeks ago, then that's where he really gets into trouble. And we see that score go. And that's been kind of his bugaboo these last 10 years that he hasn't been able to get over the mountaintop before the Masters. And he completed the Grand Slam. I look at a guy like Jordan Spieth this weekend, where I think it sets up pretty well for him and JT. Like, I think like if that's a guy that his entire career has been made on scrambling, like just trying to fight for his life. He stays in contention, and his short game is able to kind of take him to the winner's circle. This is a game where this is a weekend, I think, to where if you're like Jordan Spieth, you're sitting there saying, okay, you don't have to be the biggest hitter. You don't have, right. you just need to be consistent.
It'll almost penalize you, Nick, if you hit it too, like I said, you're hitting the ball that long. I tell you, it's bouncing left or right into that. Usually, like you said, sometimes they're not penalized, when it's going in the first cut or something like that. This will definitely penalize them to where a guy like you mentioned, Raff, I think Bryson is going to have to really tame the driver down a little bit. But I'm going to tell you a guy that I think just keeps sniffing around, Schauffele, Xander. I think this, of course, it plays well for him. I mean, he hits it consistently. He's not off the fairways very often, but it's going to be a test of wills for sure, though.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got a lot to discuss. The CWS is set. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a little small school not too far from Raff, where he's at right now, that has shocked the sporting world, and that's who I'm pulling for to win it all. I doubt they do, but you know what? A lot of folks doubt that he would make it. We'll be back. It's The Drive.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Today we celebrate all of our hard work, late nights, and the most craveable Raising Cane's chicken fingers and cane sauce that got you through it. So get out there and commemorate this moment with a grad plush puppy, because you've earned it. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Be at the 32nd Annual Testicle Festival for live music and, of course, balls. It's at Round the Bend Steakhouse in Ashland, June 14th from 11 to 10. Take I-80 exit 426, roundthebendsteakhouse.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through June 10th are $1 off per pack of Plum Creek chicken, $1 off all bacon, and 15% off cheese and crackers. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and so much more when you join today. You heard that right. Conquer the stair climber with your partner in climb. Enjoy a post-workout recovery session in the hydro massage and do it all again with access to any of our 2,700 convenient locations. So, you coming? Get all the perks with the PF Black Card for $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, you won't want to miss this exclusive offer. Deal ends June 13th.
See Club for details.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards: Best New Car Dealer, Best Auto Repair, and Best Place to Get Your Oil Changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for Best Pre-Owned Dealer and Best Tire Dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on this beautiful Tuesday morning. You stepped outside, and I'm going to tell you something right now. It was tough to come back in, brother.
Oh, I bet.
It is gorgeous outside. We got spoiled yesterday, Nick, being outside. It was gorgeous out. We're right in front of the putting green. They're beautiful Wilderness Ridge Country Club. It was absolutely awesome. I was just telling Jake when I was coming back in, I was like, dude, we had to just go remote, have the show outside on the
Just
sidewalk.
every time.
Just on the sidewalk every time. Folks, we want to let you know, I was thinking about Jack Russell yesterday. We was playing at his home course there at Hillcrest Country Club. This segment is brought to you by Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected representative since 1999. Can help protect your home, your vehicle, your family, or even your future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you. Raff, you took a picture. You were at a driving range yesterday down in Huntsville, man, and that range looked. I love the trees in the south, the big pine. Yeah. Man, that what is the name of that? Is that a course or just a driving range or both?
No, that was a hole. That was, I believe, the 5th hole. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a par 5. It was just surrounded by those big trees and opened up down at the bottom of the hill to the hole, which I parred. Thank you very much.
Nice. Did you play 9 yesterday morning or 18?
18.
Did you play solo? Do you have some buddies you played with down there?
I played by myself and had it done in less than 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Those are the best, though, man. But because you were waiting on the one and no one was behind you, were they?
Yep, it was perfect. I was the first one out on the course, so it was awesome.
What time did you tee off yesterday morning?
7 o'clock.
Nice. Well, the CWS is set, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually going to be there at the Blair parties, Nick. I don't think our show is. I think it starts at 11, right?
Starts at 11.
Starts at 11. So when we tap out next week, it'll be live there from the Blair parties, and that's always a great time there. And I tell you what, I think Omaha may have been sweating a little bit earlier this last week because LSU was kind of flirting with not making it to the College World Series from a financial aspect. But the 8 teams are set, ladies and gentlemen. You've got LSU, which is making its 20th appearance in the College World Series. Of course, they won it in 91, 93, 96, 97. 2009 and 2023. Arizona's making their 19th appearance. They won it in 76, 80, 86, and 2012, so it's been a while for them. Arkansas is making their 12th appearance. You guys, do you think Arkansas is one of those teams, what is their calling? Suey?
It's a Woo Pig Suey. Woo Pig Suey.
Flux capacitor Suey wig?
No.
Yeah. Raff, is Arkansas one of those teams, before I go through the rest of them, is that one of those teams that we usually expect them there and they're just kind of under the radar from the lights of the other teams? Is that team you got to be careful of?
I think it's Dave Van Horn I guess he's got to be careful now of falling into the one of the greatest coaches never to win a national championship. I mean, it's to that point every time he comes to Omaha. I mean, he's got that big monkey on his back. You remember the year, gosh, just probably been like 5 years ago now, where they pretty much had the national championship in the bag and then everything fell apart in the 9th inning. So, I guess every year that Dave Van Horn returns, I'm sure he loves coming back to Omaha, but man, the pressure that he feels must be crazy.
Raph, you think about 12 times, and I'm not sure how many of those times that Van Horn has been under the helm, but a lot of them. And to keep leaving Omaha and hitting the Epley Airport winless again, not winless, but the main thing you play for is the hardware. And time is ticking as far as that goes. Oregon State is making its 8th appearance. They won the title in 06, 07, and 2018. And the sole Big Ten team in the CWS is UCLA, making its 6th appearance. They won the title back in 2013. You guys, this is good for the conference. So at least have one team representing. Obviously, it's not Nebraska, it's not Creighton. But Nick, your thoughts just on UCLA making it in.
Well, here's the deal with UCLA. I mean, how about this? Nebraska in the Big Ten tournament, UCLA couldn't get anything going against the Huskers. And when you looked at the 2 teams that hosted regionals from the Big Ten conference, it was UCLA and it was the Oregon Ducks, and both of those teams lost in the Big Ten tournament to Nebraska. And you sat there and said, okay, are they still going to be able to host a regional? UCLA was able to. But they have one of the best hitters in the game. I look at UCLA as they were fortunate to get an easier road, but that's part of what you're one of the benefits is that you can, depending on what happens in other regionals, once you get to the supers, there's a chance that you get an easier road than maybe what you initially expected. They had to play UTSA in the super regionals, who would have been a Cinderella team similar to another team that we're going to talk about here in just a moment. But UCLA, I mean, they're right on the cusp of it. They're a team that a couple of years ago, back in, I believe, 2019, they were the #1 overall seed in all of college baseball, ended up losing, didn't even make it out of their regional that year. But UCLA is a team that in the early 2000s and early 2010s was certainly familiar around the city of Omaha and with the College World Series and stuff. And so, I remember growing up and watching UCLA versus South Carolina in national championship series. And so it's going to be a really, really fun College World Series, guys. Most importantly, when you just look at big picture out of the field of 8 teams, none of them were the champions last year. So there's not going to be a repeat from last season. And so you look around and you say, okay, there's a couple of familiar faces, but there's also a couple of unfamiliar faces as well. And that is where I think it gets really exciting, because you have obviously the fans of Coastal Carolina and Murray State and those types of programs that will travel with the teams and use their allotted tickets. But for the casual baseball fans in Omaha, guess what? Teams like Murray State and teams like Coastal Carolina just got a whole lot more fans going to be cheering for them next week or this Friday when they start the College World Series, Raff.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. That Murray State, like, it's just incredible. I was looking at what the attendance of Den Hartog is compared to their baseball stadium, and it's very comparable, if not more, for Den Hartog.
Well, you guys, I'm looking at the past 10 years of the winners. There's only 2 teams that are in it this year who have won the championship the past 2 years.
That's correct.
Of course, you had Tennessee that won it last year. LSU, of course, is back. The 2023 winners. 2022, Ole Miss, they're not there. 2021, Mississippi State, not there. Vandy in 2019. And Oregon State is the whole team, the other second team that's in there. Florida did not make it. But Coastal Carolina, obviously, 2016, they won it. In 2015, you had Virginia that was part of that crew. So they're rounding these out, and Coastal Carolina is in there in this one. So there's very few that have repeats being back in that back in Omaha. You got Louisville, they're making their 6th appearance, and then you got Coastal Carolina, of course, which is making its 2nd appearance. But it won the title in its first trip in 2016. Raff, and I still remember that one right there, man.
Well, remember that. I remember that game simply because it worked out in Coastal's favor because they actually ran into some bad weather. And so you might remember this was, what did you say, back in 2016?
Mm-hmm.
So they were, I can't remember who they played that year in 2016. Because I'm
Arizona.
Okay, cool. So it was Arizona Wildcats. So they played Arizona. However, the night before, that was the night that the CWS was supposed to end. It was supposed to be done. So everybody got tickets. Everybody was staying the night at that hotel at one final time for that game at night. Flights were supposed to leave the next morning. And then guess what? There was all these Arizona fans that didn't get to go to game 3 because it got canceled. And not that stage was too big for Coastal Carolina, but that entire championship series, Arizona had the upper hand. So then Coastal Carolina ended up playing that national championship, the deciding game, at like 11 a.m. It was like an 11 a.m. national championship game for Coastal Carolina. And that it was just a gritty, dirty, ugly. It didn't have all the pageantry because it had gotten postponed the night before. It gotten delayed and they moved it. And Coastal Carolina ended up winning that national championship match. But it was interesting to watch and think about, okay, does that game play differently if it's at night, or does it just kind of go in towards Coastal Carolina's wheelhouse, considering it was like an 11 a.m. first pitch?
It definitely worked in their favor because that was just kind of like we're talking about Murray State right now. You know, the unlikely hero, Eastern Carolina taking care of business back in 2016 with that one. And of course, the team that I'm pulling for you guys is Murray State, out of the Missouri Valley Conference, with a 4 seed, very geographically diverse field that's in. So you figure you got 2 teams from the SEC, ACC, Louisville, Big 12 has got one, Big 10 has got one, Sun Belt, of course, Coastal Carolina, and Independent being with Oregon. You guys, with Oregon State, what do you think Oregon State ends up overall, just sports-wise, in the next year or two?
Man, I think it's tough. I think it's tough to see any conference other than the ACC. Like the ACC has shown the ability to, or the willingness, maybe that's the better word, to expand geographically all the way to the West Coast. I wonder if when teams or conferences look at Oregon State, is there enough value there? Like, because there's enough value in a sport like baseball for a conference like the ACC. But is the ACC looking as a whole? Do they look at Oregon State football and men's basketball and women's basketball and other sports and say, is there enough there? And I think the answer is no. So then that transitions me to thinking it's Mountain West time.
I was thinking the same. Raff, what's your thoughts on Oregon State? And this wasn't even something on our script, but it just jumped out to me when I saw Independent, because you forget that Oregon State is independent, you know, from the now basically defunct Pac-10, Pac-12 conference. So what's your thoughts on Oregon State?
Yeah, no, I agree with Nick with what he's saying. Maybe like the Big 12, maybe. I don't know if that would be. I know that they're always looking adding teams that possibly the Big 12, but you would have thought if they would have done that, they would have done it already. So, they're in a weird predicament, that's for sure.
You look at it from a geographical standpoint, obviously Corvallis is a lot more convenient from a travel perspective to stay in the Mountain West. I mean, not to stay there, but to accept that one. But Raff, to your point too, the Big 12, you figured not too long ago that they were in talks of getting corporate sponsorships, for the conference. So it's just, as we talk about at 10 o'clock, the House First NCAA, we'll discuss some of that more, but it just shows you the unsettled waters of conference realignment with some of the outliers like an Oregon State, those schools that have not claimed a home yet. Or been, as far as that goes, we don't know if they've been welcomed yet. So there's a lot of conversation still on the deck with Oregon State. So them making some noise in this conference, in the CWS, though, could be in their benefit for maybe a conference wanting them in there. Who knows?
Yeah, potentially.
It doesn't hurt, I'll say that.
It doesn't hurt. I think, though, they've been a pretty familiar face in Omaha, though. I mean, you think back to the teams that had Adley Rutschman and Trevor Larnach on those teams for Oregon State. They were really, really good. And also, I mean, Oregon State had a national championship. When we talked about Arkansas just a couple of minutes ago, don't forget Arkansas was a routine, maybe not routine, but a catchable ball in foul territory away from winning the national championship. Right. I mean, it was the ninth inning. Oregon State was down by multiple runs. The Beavers hit a high fly ball into the Bermuda Triangle in foul territory. At the time, it was TD Ameritrade Park, now Charles Schwab Field. And the second baseman, first baseman, and right fielder for the Arkansas Razorbacks all convene. I can see the picture in my mind right now. Dave Van Horn steps up to the top step because he thinks that he's finally accomplished a national championship, and they let the ball drop in foul territory. It's just a really, really crazy, span of events. And then the very next pitch, or that same batter, ends up getting a base hit. Oregon State ties the game, and they win it to advance to Game 3 of the national championship series against the Arkansas Razorbacks, where the Beavers eventually won. And so, I just think that when you look at you have your blend in this College World Series of teams that are familiar faces in the Omaha 8, LSU, Arkansas, Oregon State. Then you have the guys the ones that have been there before, but you never really take them seriously, like the Louisville. And then you have your Cinderellas that in Murray State, and I wouldn't call Coastal Carolina necessarily a Cinderella, but you have a Murray State there that, guys, I mean, I remember Fresno State in 2008 is the team that everybody talks about as like the team that accomplished all odds, where they were a 4 seed. They went through the regionals, they went through supers, and then they ended up winning the College World Series title over Georgia in 2008. That would be the equivalent to if Murray State can do that same thing here this year.
Big Bird, good morning to you. I sent this to Nick and Raff this morning or last night, one of the two. Where Murray State's coach, mows the lawn. The players help lay the tarps. That stadium only seats 800. And just seeing pictures of it, you just pull for a team like that. There's some people on the text line. Cupsker, good morning, cheering for Murray State and Coastal Carolina. Magic, you got a good question here. Does Nebraska kind of wrap itself around UCLA, being that it's only the big conference school? Obviously, I mean, it doesn't hurt a team from the Big Ten. I'm kind of wrapping myself, Magic, though, around Murray State. Before we go to break, Raff, who are you pulling for?
Woo, pig, suey, Arkansas, Razorbacks.
The Van Horn connection. Swim, what about you, man? Who are you pulling for in this thing, man?
I genuinely don't know. I haven't decided yet. I think from a casual baseball fan standpoint, sure, like it'd be fun to see Murray State. You remember, like, Stony Brook made it in 2012 or 2014, but they did not win a game in Omaha, so they went 0-2. But so, like, I think naturally it'd be really, really fun to see Murray State just have a Cinderella run and have it continue. However, from the analysis side, I think that when you look at a team like Arkansas and Oregon State, those are two teams. Arkansas, it feels like they have the complete package this year. They have a Golden Spikes Award finalist, which is the award given to the best player in all of college baseball, regardless of position. They have arms on the mound, and I think that there's some extra piece of it with Dave Van Horn. Just obviously the storyline. Can he get over the top? That's the piece I think we're all curious about.
Be nice to see it. Rudy, good morning to you. You're not unknown. You're Rudy. Rudy goes, I've golfed twice in my life. Just don't hit it in the rough. Simply put.
Yeah, there you go, Rudy.
Rudy, I love it.
Rudy makes it simple.
I love it. I need to tell myself that more often. AD, just keep in the fairway.
Yeah, just don't hit it in the rough.
We'll be back with history, folks. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Be at the 32nd Annual Testicle Festival for live music, hot nuts, and meet Buster the Bull. It's at Round the Bend Steakhouse in Ashland, June 14th from 11 to 10. Take I-80 exit 426, roundthebendsteakhouse.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through June 10th are $1 off per pack of Plum Creek chicken, $1 off all bacon, and 15% off cheese and crackers. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Today we celebrate all of our hard work, late nights, and the most craveable Raising Cane's chicken fingers and cane sauce that got you through it. So get out there and commemorate this moment with a grad plush puppy, because you've earned it. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Raff, what you got going on today after the show, my man?
I think I'm going to venture out and deliver some food to some people.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
So like, we mean like as far as just like Meals on Wheels or something like that?
Well, the door of the dash. I'm going to do some door dashing, I think.
Oh, there you go. Similar to Meals on Wheels. They're getting Meals on Wheels.
Something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love it, man. And you know what? Something like that too. You get to learn that city a lot better too.
Yep, definitely.
Right. What is I always forget this. What is the population of Huntsville?
Ooh, I'm not even sure because it's like Huntsville, but then there's like all the different branches of all of the cities. So I don't know what they consider. I guess it'd probably be like Lincoln, like probably close to 200,000 maybe. I don't know.
It says as of 2023, 225,564.
We're pressing closer to 300,000, aren't we?
I thought so.
I think we looked it up real quick, Nick, please.
Yeah.
I think we're pressing closer to that. While we're doing that,
294,757.
Yeah, I figure we're pretty similar size to Lincoln, give or take.
Yeah,
90,000.
And I wonder if it's counting all the side cities that are, because like we're in Madison, so I don't know if they count that or I don't. So,
Joe B, good morning to you, brother. He goes, "This that was not the right one. That's the right one." He goes, "Let's go Beavers. Remember, Nebraska beat them in 3-game series." Yeah, absolutely. That is true, Joe B. I guess I'm just pulling for the underdog, man. I'm just pulling for Murray to see if they can shock the sporting world like Fresno did.
It's such a great story with Murray State to where you have a coach that is leading a team like this. I mean, you talked about it, right? It almost feels like JUCO baseball to where it's like, all right, they don't have a grounds crew. They do, but it's like they pull tarps. They take care of their field. There's not a lot of people that go to their games. It seats 800. You talk about going from now, granted, they've played in some bigger ballparks these last couple of weeks, going through regionals and super regionals. But you talk about then going to the essentially granddaddy of them all, if you will, to where it's a 20,000 seat stadium almost, to where Charles Schwab on the biggest stage in college baseball. So it's going to be an exciting weekend. And just a reminder, we'll be out at Blur events Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week and next week. It's going to be a really, really good time this is my favorite time of the year. I love the atmosphere. I love the area. Blur, the Blur parties, folks. Eric and Stacy do such an incredible job, not only hosting us, but hosting all the fans. And it's going to be a really, really fun time.
Well, in history, folks, in the Seniors Players Championship in 1990, Senior Tournament Players Championship, Dearborn Country Club, Jack Nicklaus wins his second of 8 championship tour majors by 6 strokes over the great Lee Trevino. Raff, how long did Jack play on the Champions Tour? Do you know?
Man, I'm not sure. I probably 10, 12 years, maybe.
I was thinking about that because when I was pulling this up, I forgot that he even played. I mean, I knew he played, of course, in the Champions Tour, but once the Champions Tour obviously is pretty quiet. You don't hear much about that until after, some of the deader periods of golf, but he won a lot of them, man. He won a lot.
How about this? In his first, so I was looking this up. He became eligible in 1990 for the Champions Tour.
Mm-hmm.
By 1996, by April of 1996, so essentially, barely over 6 years, he had won 10 tournaments, including 8 majors, despite playing a very limited schedule.
Yes, he did play.
Yeah. He retired in 2005, so about 15 years.
The Golden Bear.
There you go.
Raff, what you got, my man?
My history today is a birthday, turning 74 years old today. Dan Fouts, NFL Hall of Fame quarterback for the San Diego Chargers. If you're younger and you've not seen highlights of Dan Fouts and Eric Coryell back in the early 80s, it would be crazy in today's NFL how many. I mean, they were putting up over 300 yards consistently every game with that passing offense. There's probably no reason why they wouldn't be averaging probably 400 to 500 yards a game passing with that offense in today's NFL.
That is some serious yardage by the man Fouts himself. In some Husker, go ahead, Nick.
Go ahead.
In some Husker news, former Husker news, Vince Morrow, who was here at Nebraska, he was Kentucky's associate coach.
That's right.
Becomes their GM there at Kentucky. So congratulations to Vince.
So he ended up getting, it was Louisville. So there's some
Mm-hmm.
real intrigue here. Vince Morrow, just to give Husker fans down the rabbit hole before we go to break, Vince Morrow was the head recruiter in Wan'Dale Robinson's recruitment. And he was a very, very close in connection with Mark Stoops. He's been his kind of right-hand man for his entire time that he's been at the University of Kentucky. I was reading an article this morning from a couple of the sites down in SEC country with Kentucky that there had been there were some boiling points that things had boiled over and that tensions had started to rise between Vince Morrow and Mark Stoops down in Kentucky. And ultimately, we saw Vince take a job that is very, very popular among a lot of maybe some more experienced older coaches that are on the back ends of their career. And that's a more off-the-field approach with the general manager piece of it. Right. So that's what he's doing for the University of Louisville, which, guys, that creates a little bit of tension, I'm sure, in the state because that's a pretty big rivalry there between Louisville and Kentucky.
Yes,
you have Jeff Brom that is still trying to kind of surpass Kentucky as the best football school in that state if he hasn't already. And so Jeff Brom, the former former Louisville guy himself, now poaches a longtime coach, an associate head coach from the rival school in the same state.
It's going to be interesting down there for sure because I was read up. He was Stoops' right-hand man for like 12 years, man. Yep. And to go to the rival, that's going to, like you said, Nick, that's going to stir up the pot. Folks, we come back at 10 o'clock, man. What are the ramifications? And what does it do with the college landscape of the NCAA versus the House bill being passed? And that goes in effect next month. We'll discuss when we come back. It's The Drive.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
You've heard the phrase bigger is better. Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. As applied to family law firms, this phrase can be misleading. Yes, it's true that more resources, proven processes, a wealth of shared experience and expertise, these are all good things. But it's also true that being local has its advantages for a law firm. Familiarity with judges, with local experts, opposing counsel, even the local rules and practices. So if you're a guy confronting a family law matter, you should be thinking right now, I need all the above. I need big and local. In that case, call Cordell & Cordell, a national law firm comprised of local offices with local attorneys who practice in local courts. Remember, for over 35 years, we've been the partner that you can count on.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys. 402-858-3220. CordellCordell.com. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Today we celebrate all of our hard work, late nights, and the most craveable Raising Cane's chicken fingers and cane sauce that got you through it. So get out there and commemorate this moment with a grad plush puppy, because you've earned it. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Welcome to The Drive with A.D. Raff and Ahman Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Ahman Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Come on down to 1040 O Street. Come say hello to me and Nick, or just walk by the big window and wave at us. I think Nick needs a hug this morning, too.
I don't think I do. I'm feeling pretty good. Now, here's the thing I will say. I was feeling good. All right, because there's only one negative every year with the College World Series that gets my blood boiling. Do you guys have any guesses on what that could be?
Raff, you probably do. What is it? What do you think it is?
Not close enough parking.
No, that's not it at all. It has to do with being able to go to a game.
The ticket prices.
The ticket prices.
Oh yeah.
If I had to ask you guys, cheapest ticket for Saturday night's game between Arkansas and LSU. Now, granted, this is going to be. I mean, you talk about two teams that number one always represent incredibly well in Omaha.
Yeah.
But then number two, so they travel well. But then they're name brands. So I understand that there's some other details with it, right? Cheapest ticket.
Let me guess.
For Saturday at 6 p.m. first pitch between Arkansas and LSU in a game that's in the first round. This is not the final. This is not a semis. This is no elimination game. This is the first round on a Saturday night. Row H, which is the last row.
You're at the Hilton.
The last row of section 323. Section 323, the last row. Any guesses on what it costs before fees? Before fees.
I'm just gonna say $250.
According to Ticketmaster.
$250.
$250. Raff, do you have a guess?
I'm gonna go 125.
You guys are both under. $302.58 is your get-in price for one ticket. For one ticket. For two tickets to Saturday night's game, 6 p.m. And once again, this is according to Ticketmaster. I'm looking at it right now. 2 tickets, your subtotal without all the fees, $605.16.
No way. Oh my, that is way too much. And you know what's crazy about that is the hotels.
Yeah.
Oh, Raff, yes. And you know what, Raff? There's probably 2-night minimums on them too.
Oh yeah.
Should we take a look?
Check. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the hotel. Let's take.
You better get room with your LSU Arkansas ticket there, Nick.
That is insane.
So here we go. Let's just do this. I would imagine that most of them are sold out, understandably so. Prices in this area. This is always the greatest note to see when you search hotels. Prices in this area are more expensive than usual. All right. So the Hilton is sold out. The Embassy is sold out. Doubletree is sold out. True by Hilton Home to Suites sold out. Okay, we got to scroll down to where'd it go? The Hilton Garden Inn in Omaha West. It's a 3-star hotel. This is pretty decent ways from the ballpark. This is actually in the Gretna area. So for a hotel, one night on Friday night, $515.
Lord.
How much?
$515 for the hotel. So you're talking about just to go to one game between Arkansas LSU on Saturday, a hotel on Saturday. If you're going by yourself, it is a $900 investment just into the ticket and for the hotel. If you want a second person, just go ahead and add on about $350 on top of that. Then you get to choose whether or not you want to drive from Baton Rouge or drive from Fayetteville, or if you want to fly. I mean, guys, this is crazy. I would go into games. I got into the Vanderbilt. I saw Dansby Swanson and the Vanderbilt Commodores in Game 2 of the National Championship Series against Virginia. Virginia ended up winning this series.
Wow!
But I watched Game 2 of the National Championship Series for $12 because I got in with a general admission ticket that you could sit out in the outfield.
I can't believe those ticket prices are that expensive, man. That is just absolutely insane. Raff, would you pay that much for a ticket if Nebraska was?
No, it's called a television. We'd be just fine. I mean, those hotel prices. I mean, that's $500, and that's what almost 20 miles away from the stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, Can you imagine what the ones right across the street are going? I mean, it's insane. It's.
I remember looking last year. The last year when LSU was here. I believe, was that last year or 2 years ago that they won? It would have been 2 years ago that they won. I remember looking at it, and it was like $930 for just a room with a king bed. I mean, that was it. So it's important to note, right? Context is important here, that obviously the daytime games are going to be cheaper, right? The daytime games are going to be cheaper than the night games. So for the first game of the season, the College World Series, this is Friday, which let me pull up the bracket one more time here if I can find it really quickly. The bracket with on Friday, the first game, Coastal Carolina and Arizona, according to Ticketmaster, $202.95. Somebody said online on our text line, StubHub, Drew and Wahoo said StubHub, Coastal Carolina and Arizona is starting at $32, Louisville, Oregon State at $97. If you can get that, that's a steal. But according, once again, and Ticketmaster is always usually a little more expensive. But the Friday game. So that was for a club ticket. So Friday, June 13th. Yep, $32. There you go. There's Drew and Wahoo. You're right. So
Man, that is some serious coin.
Can you believe that?
That is some coin. Willie Pate, what's up, brother? He goes, I looked at getting a room 2 weeks ago at the Hilton when they still had it right there by CHI. It was $1,800 a night. $800 a night. Raff, remember I slept in my car?
Yeah, you'd be doing it again.
Yeah, because I had my flight got into Layton, Omaha, and this was during the Berkshire Hathaway conferences. And I couldn't figure it out. I looked, I was like, what? I was like, dang it, that's right.
Yep.
And so my flight got in late in Omaha and I had an early morning flight. I just slept in my truck. I was like, I'm not paying.
Yeah.
They were charging for one in Council Bluffs, that one by the casino, that not Embassy, but Hilton or Holiday, whatever it was.
Yeah.
They were charging $950 a night. I'm like,
that's a lot.
I said, nope, not for 4 hours of sleep. I'm not doing that. And another time during the CWS, I just drove back home and came back up.
I'm not
playing.
I'm serious. And I bring up the story every year. I remember just being 14 years old, and my teammates and I, we would be driven up by our parents up to the College World Series for a 1:00 game, and we'd all pay $10 for a general admission ticket, and we'd be able to sit out in the outfield wherever we wanted, or we would just walk around. I stood up for that game 2 championship game that I was talking about with Dansby Swanson and the Virginia squad and stuff. In the national championship, I stood up behind the Vandy Whistler. I was 3 rows behind the Vandy Whistler, just standing on the concourse at TD Ameritrade Park, and now Charles Schwab Field, for $10, right? Like the get-in price. Nobody is going. No kids are going unless their parents pay the money. No kids are going to these games this weekend for $250 a ticket. That's just crazy for the opening round.
It is absolutely insane. But you know what though? People are going to pay it.
People pay it. Companies pay it. Corporate pays it. It's just it's unfortunate. Drew and Wahoo does make a good point. It's crazy that the difference in price of games, though, primetime games are much more expensive. They sure are.
Good point.
And for once in what feels like College World Series history, the weather is actually supposed to be pretty nice the entire tournament. So the extended forecast doesn't look too bad. Normally you have to fight with tornadoes and tornado warnings and thunderstorms and all that stuff. But it looks like, as the extended forecast shows to this point, it looks like it's going to be an okay weather-wise.
Big B, you got a good story here. It's this fun story. I cover Arkansas for the company I work for, and I live in Lincoln, and so I have Nebraska stuff all over my truck. Was down there a few weeks ago working out at the gym and had my Nebraska hat on, and was approached by quite a few people. Always had good things to say about Nebraska. Talked a little bit about baseball, talked about Van Horn. Wish them luck, and hopefully we will see a few of those guys in Omaha. I love that, Big B.
Absolutely.
I love it. Gentlemen, this is going to be a conversation we're going to have for quite a bit, with the NCAA versus the House, the pros and cons. What does it mean with parties involved? You figure the foundation of college athletics is just crazy, man. With the passing of the bill, it's a new dawn, new era for college athletics, where athletes can now receive direct revenue sharing from the billions generated by their talent, which we know that. But there's questions, concerns, and there are definitely challenges as far as that goes. Let me ask you guys this. Does it loosen the NCAA's iron grip, Raff?
I would say yes, but I think the NCAA will try to battle back, try to make themselves relevant in some way, form, or fashion. So everything's like we've said, it's just like we've been for the last 3 years. It's always kind of a mess. There's always something else that pops up. So I'm sure something else will happen between here and then.
Before we dig into the numbers, Nick, I'm going to ask you this. Will it empower the athletes, or it's going to create a bigger divide between the haves and have-nots?
I think it creates a little more unity. I think, guys, just from a big picture standpoint, I was thinking about this earlier when you brought up the Oregon State conference conversation. Think about the way the conversations have shifted into where 4 years ago or even like 2021, we were so concerned about conference realignment. Like everybody was freaking out about, oh my gosh, Cal is joining the ACC and Nebraska,
concerns,
right?
now.
Like exactly, it's crazy because think about how up in arms we were at like the idea that USC and UCLA were joining the Big Ten, and oh my gosh, the Big Ten conference is now nationwide from one coast to the other coast, with Rutgers in New Jersey and Penn State out there in Happy Valley, and then on the other side it's UCLA and USC. And it's like, yeah, good job by the Big Ten. They got, all the big media markets with Chicago and New York, and then obviously with California.
Mm-hmm.
So we freaked out so much about that for like 2 years. And then it was like our conversations in July were, man, in this day and age of conference realignment, who knows what can happen? We don't know which team is the next one to just jump ship and go to a new conference. Now it's so much more individualized.
Yeah,
it's so much more transactional.
It really has been, man. It's the pros and cons of it are just insane. Some of the key points: 2.8 billion was the number. That's over 10 years.
Yeah.
Its funding goes to athletes competing of obviously 2016 to 2024 because there's that retroactive part of it.
Yeah, a little back pay action.
Yeah, a little back pay action for 2016. I'm sure they're going to be people lobbying for 2015 because it's 1 year. Why?
Cool.
What was the arbitrary number of 2016?
What about 1994?
I'm not getting any of that money.
Yeah.
60% by the NCAA, 40% by the schools. The annual cap is $20.5 million per school in the upcoming year, and it'll be rising 4% annually, potentially reaching $33 million a year in a decade.
Yeah.
The revenue split these are projections now because I think these are going to off a little bit, particularly for football. But it says 70 to 75% for football, 15% for men's basketball, 5% for women's basketball, 5% for all the sports. Gentlemen, that last one I just mentioned right there. Do you see Title IX lawsuits coming as a result of them saying, why do we only get 5%? Are they going to, the school's going to come back and say, well, because we're giving it to our revenue-driven sports?
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be a legit gripe though?
I think it's
playing devil's advocate.
Raff, I don't know how you feel about this. I think it's less about Title IX. I think that's going to be more school dependent because Nebraska is going to orchestrate very differently than other Big Ten schools when it comes to like volleyball, right? Or even we talk baseball and softball a lot. They're going to operate differently when it comes to Big Ten to baseball and softball here in Nebraska than say Purdue does. And so I think those are, and you prefaced it by saying projections, but I think that's a good place to start. I think when you also have to look at just sheer roster numbers, right? Like that's the thing that I think we forget about. There's a lot more guys on that football team to get a share of the pie than there are on a baseball roster or on a women's basketball team. Like, so sure, you can make the claim for Title IX and stuff. I think a lot of that, once you get past football, it's going to be a lot of school dependent, and they're going to kind of have some flexibility there to where maybe if we want to use the percentages, Raff, it's like, all right, instead of 15% to men's basketball, let's put aside 12%. So that way on the other sports, the Olympic sports, we can up it to 8%, if you will.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you again. Man, Nick, I agree with you all the time now. You should be like the athletic director or something.
I don't want to be. I'm good.
I think you guys, I think there's going to be potential lawsuits personally.
Interesting. All over.
Yeah, I personally think, first of all, they're not going to fix all of it. I mean, this is a liquid situation as far as, finding the right fit. But Raff, I truly believe, and then you look at your, like Nick, you brought up the Olympic athletes, but here's some of the pros of it though. Okay. Athlete empowerment. Would you agree with that, guys?
Sure.
It empowers your athletes. It's kind of the end to that NCAA-driven amateur model because, the thing about it is those days are gone. I mean, these guys are getting paid handsomely. These gals are getting paid handsomely. There's some relief for those guys and gals that played from 2016 to 2024, so those receive some retroactive NIL compensation. Raff, do you like the retroactive part?
I guess I look at it. I'm sorry. Well, no, I look at it like this. It's like I look at it and I'm like, we're going retroactive. Like Nick said, I mean, what made 2016 be that year? Why can't 1995, so you talk of lawsuits. That's where I see lawsuits, with that. It's like, well, they were making the money, back then. It's just such a crazy landscape we live in. I look at it and I'm just like, wow, it's so crazy. And then sooner or later, it's like, when's the like collective bargaining agreement? I mean, that's got to happen sooner than later, I would think.
With this type of money and with the escalation of the funds that will be increased, it blows me away that the CBA has not been discussed in more seriousness, with more publicity, if you would. Nick, do you like the arbitrary number of 2016?
Of course not. I'm trying to read some information on why, if there's any input on why they chose 2016. I think we can't get too caught up in that number. I think that
you're saying that, but those that played in 2015 are going to say, "Whoa."
Sure, but it's like, how
and
can
I can
you
carry either way?
I think though, and maybe when it comes to money is involved, people throw a sense of reality out the window.
Big time.
Because selfishness and greedy and the egos come into play,
right? You know
right?
what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I get that to an extent. I would ask this though, like, how do you put a value on what you deserve? Yeah. Like if you when we go back so far, whether it's the early 2000s, like, does it suck that you didn't get paid? Yeah, it does. Like, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, it's like, how do you go back and assess a true value? And like, if they go back and give every single player that played from 2000 to 2020 $1,000, is that just going to make everybody happy?
Nope.
Like, no. So like the number that everybody wants is going to be so astronomically high that it's not realistic. And so you're never going to make people happy. So NCAA just says we have to do this. I think, like, ultimately, though, when it's all said and done, when you have so many athletes that, like I said, we're thinking about it in the frame of like the Cam Newtons and the Marcus Mariotas. Like those are who I'm thinking of, like Reggie Bush. Those guys that are the 1% of the 1%ers that are like would have made millions in college if they could have gotten paid or played today.
And they got a little cheese. Bush got a little cheese.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, let's not be idiots here. That stuff happened, but also those guys go on and they do their thing, right? And so, but at the end of the day, the other 150 per roster, okay, I'm throwing that number out there, the other 60 per roster are gonna want, can I get 15,000? Can I get 50,000? Can I get 150 G's? Hey, I ran for over 1,000 yards that year. That should quantify for $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, sure, but how do you really assess a market value on that?
Nick, you bring up a good point. Raff, you think about this. Where would it stop? Where would it stop? And I'm going to read something by Derek in a minute, because you had to bring up a good point. Raff, where would it stop? And to Nick's point, what are the numbers? What are your metrics for valuing what someone brought to a program? Where does it stop, Raff?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. When you said the 2016, I was like, oh, you're getting into the thicket there, where maybe you should just, if you're going to start it, begin it, and then, sorry about the priors, but this is when it begins. I mean, you look at like NFL, you have the players that played in the 60s. Now they're starting to get a little bit of insurance and stuff like that, but for the longest time, they did not get anything. So it's weird. It's a slippery slope. When you speak of lawsuits, I have a feeling you'll be seeing some lawsuits.
I think so too. Derek in the car, before we go to break, says, I can think of only one word regarding this whole debacle known as revenue sharing and NIL: greed. But the NCAA has only themselves to blame, and I totally agree with you, Derek in the car, because they failed to get out in front of this decades ago, and you're exactly right. Now we're along for the ride. Great show, awesome topics. Appreciate you, Derek in the car.
Derek, I hate roller coasters, but this is fun to be on the outside of and kind of watch from afar, because it doesn't involve, it doesn't directly involve us. I think though,
Nick's like, I don't even have a wallet.
Yeah, I don't even got one. I would love some back pay right now. I don't even got one. It's the most ironic thing. Just on a side note, it's the most ironic thing. I got to go pay to go put another wallet to go buy another wallet to keep my money. I just got the replacement driver's license. We're fine. Anyway, but what I was gonna say, I had to pay for that with a debit card that I don't have. So anyway, it's funny. I just think, like, once again, as we started this conversation, it's fascinating to think about how the conversation shifted so much from a big picture standpoint the last 5 years or so. But then just as we go through this, like somebody said on the text line, I think it was also Derek in a car, said should have created financial categories based on position and year in school with an ascending payout scheme the longer they stay. The toughest part, and this is where it gets hairy, is like, as you guys know, I love parameters.
Yes, you
and
do.
I love structure.
Uh-oh. Raff, be careful. He's going to start getting that spittle.
And I love
that spittle at the bottom of his lip there.
Thank you. Do we ever figure out how to spell that word? Anyway, I love parameters, but you can't pin somebody in a corner. And so, like, my example for that, Derek in a car, would be like Ndamukong Suh. Because across the board, okay, yeah, the defensive tackle position wouldn't be the most valuable on the team, right? You look at quarterback, you look at that. But Ndamukong Suh was as valuable of a player to that 2009 Nebraska team as you're ever going to see. Mm-hmm. And so how do you adjust that? And just because you adjust it for one guy, how did you decide to adjust it for that one guy? There's always going to be loopholes. And so that's what makes this a never-ending cycle of chaos, because there's always going to be a what if remark or response to the question or the conversation.
Before we go to break, unknown texter is a great one. He goes, hey guys, FYI, my son applied for this money you guys are talking about. It's not that much. It's not significant. Folks, we're going to continue on this. We're going to continue on. We got a lot to keep going on it because there's so much involved with it, but we'll also dip into the NBA. We'll talk more about this at the 10 o'clock hour tomorrow because we want to give it ample time because there's so much to break down, the pros, the cons, the legalese and all of that. We'll talk more about that, but also the NBA. There's a game tomorrow night. We'll discuss that as well. It's The Drive, 93.7 Ticket.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards: Best New Car Dealer, Best Auto Repair, and Best Place to Get Your Oil Changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for Best Pre-Owned Dealer and Best Tire Dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Be at the 32nd Annual Testicle Festival for live music, hot nuts, and meet Buster the Bull. It's at Round the Bend Steakhouse in Ashland, June 14th from 11 to 10. Take I-80 exit 426, roundthebendsteakhouse.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Are you buying a home? Westgate Bank understands that you need to make important decisions during your home buying journey. Our local lenders in Lincoln and Omaha make themselves available so you can get the information you need to know. Use our mobile mortgage app to manage your transaction from pre-qualification to closing, no matter where you are. Get the service and convenience you want from a local community bank where our interest is you. Learn more and visit us online at westgate.bank. Westgate Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion, for happier, healthier, furry friends. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In the capital city.
You guys ready for this?
Yes.
So a little bit of breaking news. And Husker fans will, I'm sure, have feelings on this. Here you have it. Colorado's Deion Sanders dealing with unspecified illness. Colorado coach Deion Sanders has been ill and out of the office, a source confirmed to ESPN on Tuesday. Sanders has been at his estate in Texas dealing with an unspecified health issue as the school's annual summer football camps began. A timetable for his return is unknown, but on Sunday, his eldest son, Deion Sanders Jr., appeared on a YouTube live stream from the Texas home that his father was feeling well. He'll tell y'all soon enough what he's going through and what he went through, Deion Jr. stated. When we get back to Boulder, I don't know. I'm waiting until my dad leaves. When he leaves, then I'll go. Until then, I'm going to sit here with him. Sanders, age 57, canceled his speaking engagement scheduled for June 8th in Florida at the Sickle Cell Disease Research and Educational Symposium. The organization posted the update on X. Due to an unavoidable last-minute scheduling change, our originally scheduled foundation keynote speaker, Deion Sanders, is unable to attend. We are grateful for his support and look forward to future opportunities to welcome him. Sanders has dealt with health issues before. In 2022, he had 2 toes on his left foot amputated because of blood clots. In 2023, Sanders had a procedure to relieve clots in both of his legs and missed Pac-12 media days. In late May, Sanders mentioned a health issue in a podcast with former NFL cornerback Asante Samuel, but didn't provide details. So there's your update. Deion Sanders currently away from the University of Colorado football team because of an unspecified illness.
Well, thoughts and prayers to Deion for a speedy and safe recovery and his family as well. Those things are never pleasant, obviously. And so definitely thoughts and prayers to him to, again, healthy and speedy recovery to prime time, man. I always wish the best for people health-wise, especially, man. That's for sure. That's for sure. You guys, the series is tied 1-1. Goes back to Indiana tomorrow night. Raff, what's your thoughts, my man?
I think Oklahoma City's gonna win. They're gonna split, so they should come back. Yeah, Oklahoma City's gonna win the championship.
Any other thoughts on that, or is it just?
No, I'm being direct. I'm just saying. I think SGA. I think they imposed their will the first 2 games, even though they lost the first game. But I think it kind of focused them. So it would not surprise me to see Oklahoma City sweep out the rest of the series and end up winning 4-1.
I'll say this: I think it's stupid right off the bat how they have 3 days in between a game.
Yeah,
I mean, this is so stupid.
Crazy.
I don't care. I'm so sorry. The NBA season, I understand that Major League Baseball is 162 games, and then it goes on and on and on. And it's like, okay, but here's the deal: the NBA season is absurdly long. And it's going to end in late June, maybe July. I can't remember when. I don't know how the 3 days of games or time off pan out, but I mean, here's the deal. I get travel days. Maybe there's an extra day in there, but if not, there could be, you can play every other day. Like you can take off, frankly, with a travel day with the lavish travel that they have. Also, Indiana to Oklahoma City via private jet cannot be too long or tough of a flight. But I think ultimately, when you look at it all, like 3 days, I was like, all right, here we go. Thursday, the game's going to be on Saturday. Let's party. Nope, Sunday. Okay, Sunday now to Wednesday. And then Wednesday, I get it, right? Like this is expanding conversations, and we're talking about the NBA for a longer period of time, and that's what the organization and the league is going to want. But this is just like, okay, we're ready to get it over with.
Yeah, it's been already a long season, as you mentioned, Nick, and from the logistical standpoint, obviously I'm not a travel planner, etc. And the NBA's got their reasons, I guess, for spreading it 3 days. I wish it would have been 2. I think 2 would suffice. 3 days gets a little bit long, but regardless, they're playing 8:30 tomorrow night. They're at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. OKC is a 5.5 favorite in that game. You guys, Raff, I think Indiana accomplished what it was supposed to do there. Does OKC return the favor?
Interesting.
I think Indiana. I think this series. I think it goes a little longer, man. Indiana for the whole playoff season.
Yeah,
has been that team that everybody says, and I'm not saying you're saying this, Raff, but people, Halliburton, he was voted by his own peers as the most overrated player. Again, I emphasize, by his own peers, the most overrated player in the league. He has silently just quieted everyone in the postseason, and they just keep getting it done. Now, of course, that game the other night was a boat race. as far as that goes.
Yeah.
They've had those during the playoffs as far as that goes. But there's just something about Indiana, man. And I could be wrong, but man, they've proven time and time again, we're not going away. And so I favor Indiana winning this one at home tomorrow night.
It's strange, Raff, because as you just mentioned, AD, and you're right, the story of the postseason for Indiana specifically has been as close as they've been to getting killed, and end it.
Cockroaches, man.
Right? They just never go away, and they never die. And Tyrese Halliburton is able to make a shot, right? How about this, though, guys? What if I told you that Tyrese Halliburton isn't leading the Pacers in scoring per game this postseason on the team?
Who's that?
Pascal Siakam leads the team in scoring per game with a little over 20 points. So here's where I sit and I go, okay, how is Indiana going to win this series? First of all, I think it's going to be extended. I think it's going to go pretty long. I wouldn't be surprised to see it 6 or 7 games. I think, though, ultimately, when you look at Indiana, how do they need to win? It's a balanced attack, whether it's from Nesmith, whether it's from Tyrese, whether it's from Pascal Siakam or Miles Turner. I think it needs a collective effort, which on one hand you can say is more sustainable than the approach that I think OKC is going to have with SGA. SGA is a superstar. He's an MVP for a reason this year in the NBA. And do I think the Pacers are going to be able to slow him down? My answer is no. I don't think so. But can the Pacers as a collective unit do enough? So far, yeah, they lost by 16 on the road, but they were able to accomplish game 1. And so I think now we had the same conversation in the early series of the NBA postseason. All right, if you're a road team, just take one. Just take one. So you're not down 2-0 going back home and you feel like your back's up against the wall and you have to win 2 in a row just to give yourself a chance. If you're Indiana, you say, okay, yeah, would we have liked to have a 2-0 lead going back home? Sure, everybody would. But in all reality, it's, okay, you know what? 1-1 is better than 0-2.
Yeah, Indiana is a team that I would want no parts of right now, just me personally. Like I said, you mentioned the things with SGA and what obviously what OKC is doing. OKC is another team that didn't receive a lot of respect during at least my humble opinion. Me and Austin were talking about this over at the A1.
Yeah.
The grand opening of their South location. OKC's been a team that has just gone about their business all year long, and they've won. By no means am I saying they're going to run over OKC, but I think this series is going to go longer than maybe I even anticipated earlier, even 2 weeks ago. By just watching Indiana, I'm like, man, like to your point, Nick, Raff, these guys just don't die, man.
Yeah.
And when OKC, the Thunder had them on the ropes on game 1, they claw back again and still won out of there, bro. You know what I'm saying? You bring them back home tomorrow night. Raff, it looks like a game, man.
Yeah. And was it Bainbridge Arena is going to be rocking? I've heard Pat McAfee's making an appearance there, so he might get that crowd going. But SGA and Mark Daigneault, watch out for them. They're winning this championship.
It's going to be a good one, folks. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Raff has been rolling with OKC since last year, and so
can you tell? Name 3 other players other than SGA for me, Raff.
Oh, Chip Holmgren.
Chet. Okay.
Oh, Chip. Jalen Williams.
Okay.
Alex Caruso.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's 3. You're good. You're in the safe part. I mean, somewhat. It was 2.5. You got Chet Holmgren's first name wrong.
Hey, Raff. I was going to say Chet from Weird Science, but I don't think Nick would know what I'm talking about.
Is Serge Ibaka still on the team? I think Paul George was there for a while.
He's not there. Oh, Kevin Durant.
James Harden, Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
All right, let's go to break.
Folks, we'll be back with the RGT. It's a drive.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. Mortgage. That's 402-560-6197.
Are you buying a home? Westgate Bank understands that you need to make important decisions during your home buying journey. Our local lenders in Lincoln and Omaha make themselves available so you can get the information you need to know. Use our mobile mortgage app to manage your transaction from pre-qualification to closing, no matter where you are. Get the service and convenience you want from a local community bank where our interest is you. Learn more and visit us online at westgate.bank. Westgate Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plan for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Be at the 32nd Annual Testicle Festival for live music and, of course, balls. It's at Round the Bend Steakhouse in Ashland, June 14th from 11 to 10. Take I-80 exit 426, roundthebendsteakhouse.com.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Raff, we always, when we close the door on this show, we got to talk about doors, my man. You're one of our teammates.
You better believe it. We're proudly sponsored by Doors Plus. If I can find the little thing. Oh, yeah. If your garage door needs maintenance, you need an entirely new garage door, give Cameron Hall and his team a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus is locally owned, handles everything from residential or commercial garage doors, garage door openers, safety tune-ups, or custom design. Visit doorsplusllc.com to learn more. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
More. Raff, what you got for the RGT, my man?
All right, everybody. Today's Raff's Good Take goes out to two youth baseball players. One of them plays for the Braves 8U team, and the other one plays for the Rebels, probably 8U team also. Our guy, Coach Boogs, Grayson Taylor, he was out on the field last week, and young Jackson, he plays shortstop for the Braves. They met each other during the game. Got their pictures taken afterwards. Just something about the picture. If you get a chance, Matthew Taylor, great baseball coach here. Just a cool thing. Just seeing these young kids. I mean, they're being forced in. You gotta get it NIL, and you got to do this, you got to do that. But just seeing just the smiles and just the happiness of what it's all about. So I just wanted to give Raff's Good Take out to those two young boys for just making the world a brighter place. So both of them are Raff's Good Take.
Absolutely love it, man. Brings you back to the purity of sports.
100%. Guys, speaking of the purity of sports, let's talk about coaching changes. All right, so here's in college baseball news. Virginia, you might remember that they lost their manager, Brian O'Connor, to Mississippi State a few weeks ago. He got hired away from Virginia that he led the Hoos to their first ever national championship back in 2017. That year that I was there for $10 watching Dansby Swanson. But anyway, Virginia is hiring Duke baseball's head coach, Chris Pollard, as its next head coach. Pollard spent the last 12 seasons with the Blue Devils and guided the program to 4 NCAA super regional appearances. So there you have it. The University of Virginia hiring the Duke University's head baseball coach, Chris Pollard. And so we see the dominoes and things start to fall. The chips start to fall to where this coaching carousel of college baseball is kind of crazy, because you have teams that the top echelon are stealing from other top echelon programs, and Mississippi State stealing from Virginia. Virginia goes maybe a little step down and goes to Duke in the ACC. And then obviously, but that's another part, is it's an interconference switch. He's staying in the same conference, just going to a place with better resources and maybe a little bit of a much stronger baseball history. And so there you have it. Chris Pollard from from Duke University going to be the head coach, the manager of Virginia baseball. So now Duke, you have a choice, right? Like you can try to find an up and coming assistant coach somewhere, or you look at a conference like the Big Ten and go, okay, who can we take from the Big Ten that can be like the next Eric Bakich, who was at Michigan, led Michigan to a College World Series appearance, and then now is at Clemson doing his thing.
So do you think the Murray State head coach is going to start garnering a lot of attention?
I don't know. It's not the same as football. I will say this, like, it's not the same as football to where it's like, okay, you know what? Memphis is like a great example. Justin Fuente leads Memphis to a couple of really good years. There needs to be some sustainability, I think. And Murray State, as much as you love it, like, there's a reason why you don't hear always. There's a name I will say, guys, that is in the coaching carousel. Not coaching carousel because he's actively coaching and he had a good year. Mark Rardin, who is the head coach at Western Kentucky, is a name that not a lot of people might know. They might know him in the Midwestern part of the country. He spent a lot of time at Iowa Western as the head coach of the Iowa Western Reavers, a JUCO up there on Council Bluffs, obviously. That's a name that I think if there's a Big Ten school, or I think the ACC or Big 12 might be too big of a jump from Western Kentucky. But he just finished up his first year at Western Kentucky, led them to a postseason appearance in his first year, and routinely put guys out into Division I programs from Iowa Western. So certainly a guy that is a really just a grinder, Mark Rardin out there at Western Kentucky.
I'm going to share this more tomorrow, but Texas Tech, what they're paying, it is astronomical. We'll discuss
100%,
tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
100%.
Folks, go ahead, Rafi.
No, I said it. Go ahead. Go with the AD attitude adjustment.
Yeah, quick one for the attitude adjustment. This is it's kind of a different one in a bit, because our thoughts and prayers go out to Sly and the family Stones. Sly Stone's family passed away at 82. Nick, this guy was before he was still maybe not putting out music, but a lot of people playing his music. Some of the greats that he put out, were just, Dance with the Music was a huge one. Everyday People was another one. Born in Texas, but raised in San Francisco, and just an absolute icon. And the thing that they said to him, one of his biggest quotes that I seen that came across, and I love it. He goes, all I want to do is make music and make the world better. That's a simple way to live life. Make music, find your craft, and make the world better. So again, rest in peace to Sly Stone, the founder. He's founded in 1966, Sly and the Family Stone Band, and their music continues to change and move worlds. Raff, take us home, my man.
All right, everyone. Wanted to wish a happy birthday to the boxer Lolo. She turned 6 years old today. I'm sure she's listening. She's a big fan. Everyone else, have a great day. Be nice to each other. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine with light winds. It'll be warm with an afternoon high near 91. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a light breeze, a low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and hot with an afternoon high near 95. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plan for success with the latest technology. including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Hey, it's Adam Carricker. Join me this Wednesday, June 11th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Adam Carricker Show live at Suizo Construction.